Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Ben Speaks TV. So, today I have a really good one for you. We are going to be doing a reaction to the mysterious drones that are all over New Jersey and all over the US. And without further ado, let's get
We
started.
have Representative Anna Paulina Luna. She is on the House Oversight Committee, which held hearings on UFOs and UAPs. And to be honest, one of the few who took this seriously early. We have Christopher Mellon, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense, who specializes in unidentified flying objects, and Ryan Graves, former Navy pilot turned UFO whistleblower. Thank
So, just off the rip, all of these three people, they are all qualified to speak on this issue. So, I don't want anyone saying these people are not qualified or they just got some random people talking about this. These are Congress people and military people who are in the know. So these people definitely know what's going on, and that is why I like News Nation right now because they got qualified people speaking on this issue. And yeah, play. Come on, let's
you
just
to each
keep
and
going.
all. And just quickly, does anybody believe that I have it wrong and that this is some great mystery that nobody knows any of the answers to?
Nope,
All right,
nope.
good. I'll start with you, Representative. How do you explain how you keep hearing that there are divisions of government that are involved in different types of undertakings, but they can't come clean, even with members of Congress, even with a special subcommittee, about what is in the air over New Jersey and elsewhere?
Look, it's unacceptable, and for them to undermine Representative Andrews' credibility in saying that he's talking to people that he does believe that these are drones from other nefarious foreign actors. I mean, it just goes to show, A, obviously they're checked out before the holidays and they know that they're leaving office, and so I believe that they're not really interested in finding out what's happening. And it's the unfortunate truth of what happens in Washington, especially when there's a new incoming administration. But to be clear, what we're seeing right now happening, not just in the drone sphere, but I think on the topic of UAPs, is you're right, there has been a change in technology. And also with the fact that people can now record, you have devices, they can't really hide it anymore. So I think the Pentagon and the
Exactly. That's the game changer right now. Just the fact that everybody got a cell phone right now, you can just pull out your phone and record what's going on in real time. This is this is not like back in the 60s and 70s when they could just be like, "Hey, there's nothing to look at here. Don't believe your lying eyes. Just believe the narrative that we're putting out." No, people actually got cell phones and they are videoing drones the size of SUVs, drones the size of school buses, and they people are seeing orbs that are morphing into something else. So you can't just tell people don't believe your lying eyes that these are nothing. People are definitely seeing something and they are telling you. And these people are insulting our intelligence, even mayors and congress people. And they are just saying that everyone is not seeing what they're seeing. And this is
government as a
insulting.
whole is looking at how to address this to the American people, but there's no doubt in my mind that Representative Andrew was telling the truth. It's very likely that these are drones from foreign adversary, and if you don't believe that the U.S. government would cover something up, just look at how they responded with the Chinese spy balloon.
No, that's a good point. And look, you know this. You're in Florida. Mellon knows this. Graves knows this. A lot of these drones, like the ones we're showing right now, you see navigation lights on them. You see a red and a green. You know this from boating and down. So they have the same things. Aircraft are the same thing that boats do. They have a red and a green. So it's not like they're from some outer atmosphere. Let me start with you, Mr. Mellon. Do you believe that there are more and that it's understood and explainable?
I believe there are more. I think it's important for people to understand that this has been going on since at least 2017, which is to say these smaller, brightly lit drone-like vehicles violating restricted U.S. military airspace in sensitive areas around nuclear power facilities, nuclear weapons storage facilities. A year ago today, roughly, this was Langley Air Force Base was taken offline by drones, and that continued that was exactly a year.
Yeah, this is not something that just started happening last month. This is something that's been going on since a long time from now, a long time, and it's been going on. And it came to the public consciousness back in 2017, according to this person. But the government definitely know what's going on, but they don't want people to know. And the question is why? Why are they keeping this from people when people definitely needs to know what's going on in our skies, and they are shutting down military bases and shutting down airports, and at the same time you're telling people it's safe, but at the same time there's nothing to worry about. But you are claiming that you don't know what these things are, and how can you say that it's safe when you don't know what they are? It's literally, it's counterintuitive to what you're saying. It doesn't make any sense.
Year ago this month. And that was about a year after there was a similar sort of pattern in the Western United States for several months near some of our ICBM fields. So it's troubling that after all this time, we still haven't captured any of these things. We still haven't brought them down.
Do we
still
know that?
where they're coming from. We are really in a position of ignorance here. And hopefully this will maybe at long last, after all these prior events and the Chinese balloon, get some people to take a hard look at what do we need to do to get our hands on one of these things so we can get to the bottom of this.
Right. I mean, look, Chris,
And-
you know better than I do, but I don't know that they haven't gotten any of them. I would read it another way, just as somebody who's been in the business of deception detection for 25 years, that, you know, that calmness of them being not concerned.
He's been in the business of deception for 25 years, and she laughed because she knows exactly what he means. If you are in the news media, your whole existence, your whole goal, your job is to deceive the public, basically. You are supposed to be telling them what's going on in the world, but at the same time, you are not really telling them what is going on. You're telling them what the people who are paying you want you to tell the public. So he has been in the business of deception for 25 years, and that is exactly correct. And Chris Cuomo, I think he has really evolved since he left CNN, and since Chris Cuomo joined News Nation, I think he is less encumbered by the bureaucracy, which is legacy media. Consequently, he can speak more freely, and he can speak more truth to facts as he sees fit. And he presents the facts instead of diluting them, and he gives us his thoughts, which totally discredits what the news media talks about, and he doesn't succumb to the news media, which comes, which they are here to deceive us, and he doesn't want to deceive people anymore. I guess that's why he joined News Nation, and News Nation definitely let him speak more freely than the mainstream media.
Concerned about it is usually a function of having information. And Ryan, you and I have talked many times about how many stories you've heard about what they did take down or what they found on the ground, and programs that use a lot of money to use special operators to go and recover these things. But SUV-sized drones, I can't find those on the commercial market. I've been looking for days. How do you explain that part? You think people just get the size?
That's what's crazy. Just the sheer size of these drones, so-called drones. We don't even know what they are. So I guess we went from calling them UFOs to UAPs to something else, and now we're calling them drones. Okay, we're gonna call them drones for now, but at the same time, we don't know what these things are. And if we're gonna call them drones, fine, we're gonna call them drones because that's the narrative that they want to go with right now. But at the same time, we clearly know that something else is going on, and they are not drones. If they were something that belongs to the U.S. military, we they wouldn't be blatantly putting it out in public like this. And if it belonged to a foreign adversary, believe me, it would have been hell to pay. Someone would have been in front of Congress answering why something from China or something from Russia. And this is 100% not from Russia, because if Russia had this type of technology, they will be using them in Ukraine right now. And Russia, they are getting their butt kicked in Ukraine, and they will be using all of this in Ukraine if it belongs to Russia. So we can rule out Russia because it clearly doesn't belong to Russia, or they will be putting it to better use. And it doesn't belong to China, because if China had this, they will be taking over Taiwan. And some goofy congressman talked about it came from Iran. These people are such war hawks. They want to go to war with Iran so badly that they want to blame it on Iran. Iran has zero chance of making something that could sail a so-called mothership that could sail all the way from Iran all the way to the U.S. East Coast. That ship would have been blown out of the water a long time ago before it even got a chance to get to the U.S. East Coast. And if I had a technology like this, I definitely would not be transporting it through a ship or a boat. I will be using a submarine. And we know that Iran doesn't have a submarine. If they do, it probably stays along their coast. They don't have a submarine that could travel that far, or and they definitely don't have a submarine that could travel all the way to the U.S. East Coast. So we can rule that out. So this 0%, that is definitely one of the lowest plausible explanation that it came from Iran. This zero possibility that it came from Iran. So where are these drones coming from? And we see a whole bunch of them coming out of the sea. And we're just over here talking about don't believe your lying eyes when we clearly see something else, something that doesn't go with their narrative. So we need to know if we are if we are paying a military budget, which is almost $1 trillion a year. It's over $900 billion, which is almost $1 trillion. If the people are paying $1 trillion for the military budget, I think the government definitely answers to the people, and they should be telling us what's going on. And they are not doing that right now, and we demand an answer.
Is wrong, Ryan?
Well, there always is some uncertainty when it comes to judging a moving object in the sky, especially at night and especially as a single source of light. But these things appear to be close enough to the ground where I think I have pretty high confidence in the size predictions that they're estimating, give or take 20%. But, these sizes and these types of behaviors are something that we've seen and we've talked about, Chris, over the years, starting at Virginia Beach, working its way further north into the Langley area, and perhaps now into New Jersey. I don't think we can conclusively say that they're inherently linked necessarily, but with the mixed messages that we're getting between the legislative branch and between the executive branch, it really feels like the Biden administration is gaslighting us on the seriousness of this issue.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Definitely.
Go to
And this is they are insulting all of our intelligence, and we need to let these people know that we are not going to stand for this. If these people are going to leave us hanging, and there is something or some things or a bunch of things hovering all over our skies, going in the most secured places on earth, our military bases, and they are getting shut down, Air Force bases, the airports, and a commercial drone cannot go to an airport or a military base. They got a kill switch that shuts these things down before they even get the chance to get close. So if these things overpowers the current technology in our arsenal, so we definitely know that this stuff don't belong to the US. And who do they belong to? And if the government definitely knows more than they are letting us on. And this is really ridiculous. We need to demand better from our government, and this is completely unacceptable. And with that being said, we should demand for our Congress people to be more accountable to us and tell us what's going on. And if they're not going to tell us what is going on, it is incumbent upon the people to petition the government and petition all of our representatives to actually represent us and have them force them to give us answers. And all of this, people who are holding on to the truth, and they won't even let the Congress people know. These people who are unelected bureaucrats, unelected people deciding what the public should and should not know. This is completely unacceptable. And with that being said, this is Ben Speaks TV. And look at the comment below. It says, "Welcome to Ben Speaks TV. Like, comment, and subscribe. Do you believe the government's narrative on the UFO UAP drones? If not, comment below. Let me know why you believe or do not believe. And if you subscribe, that will motivate me to keep making videos for you. And hey, it costs you nothing to subscribe. Don't be a Karen, okay? just like and subscribe, and that will motivate me to keep making videos like this for you and bringing you updates. All right. And with that being said, keep speaking your truth. This is Ben Speaks TV, and I will see you next time. Peace. All right.